Good morning, students. Welcome back to second video lecture of the chapter A Question of Trust written by Victor Canning. In the first video lecture, I gave you the important details related to the chapter, that is the summary of the lesson, moral, theme, all things. Now in this video lecture, I'll deal with some of the extra notes. So let's begin. I'll deal first with the important questions that may come for board exams. Let's begin with the short answer type questions, children, that may come for 2 marks. Question number 1. Whom did Horace Tanby see in the kitchen? How did they greet each other? What tact did Horace apply there? Horace Tanby saw the family dog Sherry in the kitchen. The dog greeted Horace by stirring, making a noise, and wagging its tail in a friendly way. Horace greeted the dog by tactfully calming it down, calling it by its name, and showing love to it. The second important question: how did Danby prepare for the robbery at Shotover Grange? Or how did Horace plan his robberies? Danby always planned his robberies meticulously. He prepared for the robbery at Shotover Grange by studying the house, the electric wiring, paths, and garden. He knew that the family normally lived in the city and knew about the movement of the servants who had gone out that afternoon. He had kept his tools ready to be packed in a bag. Next question. What was the passion of Horace Tanby and how did he satisfy it? The passion of Horace Tanby was collecting rare and expensive books. To satisfy this passion, he needed money and arranged it by robbing one safe every year and then secretly buying the books through an agent. Though he was an honorable person, but not an honest one. Next, describe the safe at Shotover Grange, or where was the safe at Shotover Grange? What was there inside it? What did Horace expect to get if he sold them one by one? Here is the answer, children. The safe at Shotover Grange was kept in the drawing room behind a poor painting and had jewels worth about £15,000 kept in it. It had a poorly built burglar alarm but could be opened only through a specific code. Horace expected to get £5,000 if he sold the jewels one by one. Now the next question. How did flowers hinder Horace in his work? Flowers hindered Horace in his work because he had hay fever, a disorder affecting the nose and throat caused by allergy to pollen or dust. Due to this problem, whenever he came close to flowers, he began to sneeze and could be caught. He had to cover his face. Another important question. Why was Horace Danby sure that his robbery at Shotover Grange would be a successful one? Horace Danby was sure that his robbery at Shotover Grange would be a successful one because he had studied the house, the drawing room where the safe was kept, the wiring and its garden. He had also studied the movement of the servants, so he had planned well, thus ensuring that nothing could go wrong. What was Horace Danby's hobby? How did he manage to fulfill it? Horace Danby's hobby was to buy expensive books that he loved to collect. To fulfill his hobby, he used to break open one safe in a year and rob it so that he could buy the expensive books. So here were the short question answers, children. Now some important long questions that may come for 8 marks. Horace was a successful thief because he carefully planned his robberies. Should we call him a successful thief and still appreciate his work? Why or why not? Yes, as a thief, Horace is successful because he carefully planned his robberies and completes them well. Before robbing at Shotover Grange, he had studied the house for 2 weeks, looked at the electric wiring, its parts and its garden. He wore a pair of gloves so that no fingerprint was left. He had studied everything minutely except the people living in the house. Besides, he had a faith in the saying, honor among thieves. He was living his life as a good and honest citizen. However, the wealth he gathered due from his successful robberies did not belong to him. By stealing other people's valuables, he may have become successful, but he is actually a criminal. He may be efficient in conducting his crimes so that he is successful, but we still cannot appreciate his work. Next question, very important. Describe Horace Danby's encounter with the young lady. Horace Danby was going to rob the safe at Shotover Grange. He had cut the wires of the burglar alarm. But the flowers on the table made a tickle in his nose and he was sneezing repeatedly. Just then, a young lady dressed in red came in. She spoke friendly to Danby, but her sound was firm. She said that she was the owner's wife. She told him that she had come there to take the jewels from the safe. She had to wear them that night at a party. She made an excuse that she had forgotten the number to open the safe. She told the thief that she would not let him go if he opened the safe for her. Danby was taken in. He opened the safe without gloves. He gave all the jewels to the young lady. She went away safely with the jewels, but Danby was arrested for the jewels robbery and sent to prison as his fingerprints were there all over the safe. Now children, here comes the end of the long questions. Now character sketch of Horace Danby, which is very important. It may come in the exam. I have given you point wise. You can convert it into the form of paragraph. A good and respectable citizen, 50 years old, unmarried. He was a locksmith and was very successful in his business. Despite all these qualities, he was not completely honest. He had been to jail once, so he hated the thought of going to jail. He loved rare and expensive books. He broke a safe every year to have enough money to buy books. He was a careful burglar. He planned his work well. He was very careful while robbing a safe. He wore gloves and never left fingerprints on the scene of the crime. Once he was duped by a young lady. That young lady, who pretended to be the owner's wife, was also a thief. He gave all the jewels to the young lady and left his fingerprints all over the room. Thus, he was arrested and sent to prison. Now, he did not like the thought of honor among thieves any more. So this was the character sketch, children. So I end the lesson here only. All important things related to this chapter, previous home assignment answers and today's home assignment I have given in the PDF file. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. I will try my best to clear it. Thank you.